takes a lot of money to run a Power 5 college football program, and it takes even more money to do it right. So that's a topic of conversation that we've had with you a number of times throughout the years in regards to, okay, everybody out there is spending money. They got coaching staffs that they pour money into, facilities, the whole thing. But I think it's pretty easy to see where there are programs that say, you know what? We know that we need to make this level of effort to return this much, get our TV money, get our bowl money, go our 7-5, 8-4 every year, call it good, and make this much money, and never really make that blood, sweat, and tears investment. Like, we're going to go after it. And trying to determine whether Miami was in that camp or in the let's go for it camp, where we know that the fan base is in the let's go for it camp, and the history and the tradition and the legacy is in the let's go for it camp. Mm-hmm. Well, once Manny Diaz was shown the door and Mario Cristobal hired, and the amount of money that was put into the coaching staff and the recruiting efforts over the offseason and everything else, there have certainly been positive indications that this program is going for it. And another big indication today, wholesome one, is you let me know before we started to record, a big investment put into football facilities.
Yes, over $100 million to be dedicated to the University of Miami's football facilities. Now, I didn't just say athletic, I said football facilities. Now, the reason why it is so important that we invest is, Mark, at the end of the day, people look at it in multiple ways, but kind of one or two. Let's put all of it in one basket and see what happens. And the other people are like, let's do just enough, like you just said, like you just illustrated, going 8 and 9. Okay. What we were doing at Miami was a lot more of the latter than the former. Okay. We were just throwing it out there. Hey, we got the best logo from Dade and Broward County. If we somehow are able to have people stay here and want to play for the University of Miami, then we could just stack up the cupboard, get a whole bunch of 4 or 5 stars on one team. It don't matter who the coach is. It don't matter what the schemes are. It don't matter what our facilities are about. We're about hard work, recruiting, and throwing up the U. And for a long time, it even turned into championships with that same mindset. But Mark, about 15 to 16 years ago, I would say college football decided to invest in itself. And the biggest thing was the TV rights. Okay, for the longest, it was all about your local channel and the big game on that day. That was it. So if you were in Florida, you watched. If you're closer to the South End, you watched Miami. If you were closer to Central, you might have seen the Gators. If you were super north, you seen either the Gators or Tallahassee. And that was about it. Okay. And then the big game on, Bama, Auburn, the game, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, and whomever they were playing that day, Notre Dame, they wear the green uniform. You were able to see the big game. But then those TV rights got to a point where only certain conferences, one in particular, was on every TV station in the country. You could be here in Fargo, North Dakota. You could be in Austin, Texas. You could be in Brookings, South Dakota, and you were able to watch Georgia, Bama. It's just how it was. So people threw a bunch of money into this, and now they started pumping out NFL bodies because they put money into what? Strength and conditioning. They put money into having sleeping chambers and all kinds of crap. Just a whole bunch of money, bells and whistles, as the Miami Hurricanes fan base likes to say. And now you realize to get those young men, you got to have the good football program, and you also have to have the bells and the whistles. You have to have both. They go together. Okay, your head coach popping in the picture and flexing and doing the, having a Samoan brother, and he's doing the haka with another Samoan who's coming all the way from California to a visit to Miami, and they're doing the haka up. That's it. It's what is done. Different uniforms, nice facilities, really good physiques as far as the players that come out of your strength and conditioning program in all facets of the game. If you want to be in the top 1%, and at this point in those top Final Four, you need those things. And they have to be there. And they have to be A1. And for the first time, the University of Miami understands that because the man in charge, both Coach Radakovich and Coach Mario Cristobal, when those two voices are speaking, everyone else is listening. It's not the point where the person who has to sign off on this really could give a damn less about football or could give a damn less about athletics. And they, no, we're not giving you that money. Can we do it for cheaper? Okay, yeah, I'll sign that off. That's not what's happening anymore. And I'm excited. And you know, I'm excited for the young men. I'm excited for their families. I'm excited for us being able to invest back into this program and back from this university investing in it. Because Mark, the reason why the University of Miami is well known is on the backs of those football players. It was a small private school in Coral Gables until it became the U. And our football players went out there against the Oklahomas, against the Notre Dames, and were beating some of these teams that were thought of to be unbeatable, against the Nebraskas. Okay, because back then you didn't have national championships. You just had the AP poll, things of that nature. So they had to go out there and win. And we're finally investing and giving back to these young men. And that means the world to me. I'm very excited for them.